Hello, hello. I would like to propose an idea. And that idea is that if you know someone is snorting Adderall, the ADD medication, which is a form of methamphetamine, and you know someone is snorting it, the 24-page non-disclosure agreement you signed kind of becomes null and void. Especially if they win the presidency and have direct access to the United States nuclear codes. Seems pretty reasonable to me. So Noel Kassler says that he worked on The Apprentice and he had to sign a 24-page non-disclosure agreement, and that he knows that Donald Trump would crush up and snort Adderall. And then in response, Tom Arnold tweeted, gotta love Twitter, yeah, I've seen him do it too. Or I know he does it too. Would the Founding Fathers have loved or hated Twitter? So, I went and looked. Because I've never snorted anything. So I went and I looked, and it turns out that the signs of snorting Adderall, are we really having this conversation? Are we really talking about this? Am I hallucinating? Well, actually no, but he might be, because that's one of the potential side effects. It's also sniffling. Remember the debates against Hillary Clinton? Potentially slurred speech, which he's done often. I just assumed there was something wrong with his false teeth, but also dry mouth. Remember him drinking water with using two hands? It makes it very difficult to sleep, and we know that he rarely sleeps. Noel Kassler said that he does it especially before any kind of public, doing something in public where he would have to read cue cards or teleprompters, because he can't read. Or he reads so poorly that it scares him. Now, I don't know about that part. And that part I wouldn't even, that's, I don't know, that it seems really scary until you think about the possibility of the President of the United States being a speed freak, in which case, the fact that he gets a little nervous because he doesn't read well doesn't seem like much of a problem, does it? Okay, so, is Donald Trump, the President of the United States, a speed freak? Does he snort Adderall? Does the President of the we're having this, I'm saying these words out loud. Is the President of the United States of America, does he snort Adderall? It's like they're words that should not, I feel like I'm speaking a foreign language. This is not a good way to start. This does not bode well for the reading. Especially with the crazed weather, the crazed hair, and the fact that a side effect can be hallucinations, paranoia, incredibly aggressive behavior. Matter of fact, basically the only side effect he does not seem to be showing is weight loss. Then again, considering what he eats, maybe that's why he is not the size of a house. In the past, oh boy, right from the beginning, loudly in my head, he was getting tired. He was getting older, and he was getting tired. And there wasn't anything he could do about it. The rumor is that someone at one of his golf clubs told him about it, and he tried it. Something came up where somebody asked somebody about this, and it came into my head was buckets. It isn't just that he does it occasionally. It's almost like buckets of Adderall, and it makes him thirsty. He's an addict. This is the card of decisions. This is a card of larger forces Also, I'm getting times up, but you put them together, I don't want this to be true. This is insanely dangerous for all of us. I mean, not even just the 300 and some million Americans that could very well be taking a prescription from children, or getting a prescription from children, if you're willing to pay enough, which he very much is. He's just going to keep on doing what he's doing now, getting up and making speeches. And is that a mark? Why is there white powder? No. Is that white powder on his nose? That feels like the Democrats opening up investigations, which is going to add to his stress. I got 2 cards for the home environment. That's him when he's not pretending to be emperor. This is the card of nostalgia. So I think it feels like it's linked to this, that he's getting older and it's getting harder and he's getting tired. Well, yeah, you're in your early 70s and you don't take care of yourself and you get tired. Hoping... yeah, that just... a little too bright. A little too... other people see... well, he's just generally a hedonist. So maybe he's, you know, that... I mean, it's been in front of us this whole time. If this is what's going on, this has been in front of us this whole time. And we just assumed he was a jerk. And for some reason I got 4 cards for the final outcome. Boy, my stomach hurts just thinking about this. I'm feeling some self-loathing here. Some serious self-loathing to do with young blonde women, and and money and this stuff, if he's taking it, it makes him feel young, strong, and he can make more money. It also makes him an aggressive jerk. Well, an even more aggressive jerk, because he is different from the way he was when he was younger, and people do. They usually mellow with age. They don't, well, at least most of the people I know, the older people I know, they've kind of mellowed with age. Age, wisdom, perspective. Whereas he's just become more belligerent and difficult. Please tell me that the President of the United States of America is not snorting a Class 2 substance, I think it is. I can't remember. I don't know the classifications exactly. I just remember maybe I ran across something about that when I was looking up the side effects. Please tell me that the man who is in charge of the nuclear codes, the President of the United States, who should barely have enough power to push the button on his desk that calls for another Diet Coke. Why are cards like falling? I feel like cards are falling out of the deck. Tell me more about... I'm getting it's why he's so erratic. It's why he can't concentrate. It's why he spends so much time in the residence, because he can snort stuff and then he doesn't have to be around anybody who might see the effects. He doesn't have to worry about the effects. He doesn't have to hold himself. He doesn't have to control himself. Tell me more about this nightmare scenario. It's really bad for his heart. Yeah, but that's a given. People have very reasonably tried to get him to stop. What came into my head was, it's going to come out. It's his secret. It's one of the many, and I've got multiple cards falling out again. I can quit anytime I want to, but no, he's addicted. Very much addicted. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What is this going to cause? What damage is this going to do? Is anybody else getting really nervous? He's going down to Mar-a-Lago, spending time with women, burn off some of the energy. He's got a lot of court cases ahead of him. People taking a look at his tax returns, but also the finances of his company, and finding out that all the glitters in Trump world is not gold. He's going to take more. As the stress ramps up, he's just going to take more and more. Howling at the moon. This is not good. This is not good. Mueller. At some point, he's going to have to talk to Mueller. Ooh. You're a speed freak and you're going to go talk to Mueller? You're a speed freak and a serial liar and you're going to go talk to Mueller. Wow. I thought he was stupid before. So what's going to happen? He hides himself a lot. He does as little as possible. The country is suffering from the lack of a president, is what that feels like. And it's like, okay, but sometimes maybe the lack of a president isn't the worst thing in the world. But that feels like the worst thing that's happening, and maybe will happen. And he's going down. He might think about going away, but these are really strong. He's going down. Mueller trying to fight back, trying to rail. But he's not in his right mind. I mean, obviously. And the world is going to see. This is... The Russians know. The Russians know. And all kind of evangelical leaders have gotten in trouble seeing prostitutes or whatever, but the President of the United States snorting Adderall, even his base would be like, no. Russia, but one thing is absolutely clear. Russia knows. Russia knows. Russia knows. Russia knows. Russia knows. That's America trying to calm the waters with Russia, trying to give them whatever they want to keep them quiet, to keep America in the dark. It isn't just Trump Tower Moscow. Does he know? Does Trump know that the Russians know? He guesses they suspect. He is so afraid of being caught. He is terrified of being caught, but he is addicted. Full-blown, full-on addicted. Addicted. That's his dynasty, and that's right on top of it. All right, well, that's terrifying. Okay. People around him have got to know. Secret Service has got to be like, you would think they would intervene, but maybe they can't. Maybe that's why, that's why he's spending so much time in the residence, is so Secret Service can't stop him. And once he's already taken the stuff, And if it's prescribed, they can't do anything about it. But they'd have to know something was going on. Then again, he got his doctor to say he was perfectly healthy and 239 pounds. But I guess, it's just, I'm just a reader. Maybe none of it's true. Maybe none of this is true. But that's what I'm getting. So I'm getting loud and clear. All right, but we'll see what happens, okay? Thank you very much for watching.